When you generate a new lead, is your follow-up process one that is written down that you go step by step through, or is it one that is all in your head and you take the actions that you can remember? Most of the people that I talk to, it's the latter. They get a new lead and they try to text them or call them or email them, and they try to remember to take all of those actions. And where failure comes into play is when you're generating 1, 2, 3, that's it, like 1, 2, 3 leads a day. You've got to touch each of those leads 8 to 12 times before they really even want to connect. Now, touch is Facebook message, text, Instagram, email, ad, call, video. There's a lot of different ways that we can define a touch, but there are a few manual actions that you need to take if you're really trying to get your conversion up to 3 to 5%, which is insane amounts of profitability in real estate. But if you get stuck, right, you start experience that compounded effect. You go 1, 2, 3 days and the leads start to stack up. Well, hey, so do the touch points. You go from having to touch somebody, a few times a day to really get the optimal conversion. And then you compound that by quite a few leads, and then all of a sudden you're into the dozens. I mean, just multiples of touch points that you've got to have to really convert a lead. So what I'm going to actually jump behind the computer screen and show you right here is how to build a follow-up process that will give you a checklist of steps that you should take for every single lead that comes in. Now, it's really important to understand just the simple act of writing down your sales process or your follow-up process is going to increase your conversion rate at least 1%. And in your world, 1% is tens of thousands of dollars. So when we write it down and we follow it, we really give ourselves the best chance at converting 3 to 5%. And what's so powerful about this is that most of you are not good at all at teaching somebody else how to convert leads. And you will get buyer's agents in place, ISAs in place. They won't do very good, and then you'll let them go thinking that they just weren't good and that you're the best in the world and there's only one of you, and it just must be that you have to step back in and do it. What really happened is you didn't train them, nor did you give them a process to follow that would allow them to replicate your success. And so when we write it down and we hand this to somebody else, we give them a document that tells them exactly what steps to take to convert a customer. And that is what our goal is. So let's jump behind the computer screen and I'm going to show you how to create a follow-up process. All right, guys, so all you got to do is open up a very simple, easy little Word document like this, title it your sales process, and then write yourself a little summary. This is a step-by-step process we'll go through to convert leads from Facebook ads. And this is one of the simplest things that you can do. So step 1, lead enters system. Step 2, you just begin to write out the process. It's really no more complex than that. Step 2, we're going to text the lead first. Step 3, if no response, call the lead. Step 4, if no answer, leave no voicemail. Step 5, wait 15 minutes. Step 6, text again. Step 7, if no response, call again. Step 8, look up on Facebook. Step 9, send Facebook message. Step 10, send video. All right, so all we're doing right here is outlining the process. Now, I know this is really simple, but where it gets a little bit complex is where you begin to summarize everything that's kind of taking place. So after you come in and you write all this stuff out, you want to begin to summarize it and really put details into place so that you want to basically be able to hand this document over to a little kid and they would be able to convert your leads if they just followed your step-by-step process. So lead will come through the Whitley system and you will notified via text, right? So that's simple. Then we want to come in here and we want to enter our scripts. So that way people in this document, you have your entire script for the text. And I'm cheating a little bit because I already have some scripts typed out, but now we have this really engaging way to have a conversation with a lot of the people that are coming into the system. So you're not just leaving a script, like you're actually showing people how to interact with the leads that you're generating. And that's, really, really, really an important part of the process. And again, I am cheating a little bit because I've already got, quite a bit of scripts typed out here. But my point is, when you sit down for the next few minutes and you just write out what your sales process is, you're giving your team just a crazy strategic advantage because they don't have to guess. And what most people do is they'll hand sales processes over their team that are stuck in your head. So somebody will come in, they'll get some leads, and you'll sit down, you'll say, hey, okay, you got to call them and then you got to text them. And that ends up being what most of your leads or your team does, but you don't get much conversion effort because they call and text and they go on to the next lead. They're typically doing what you're telling them to do, or they are seeing what you do and they're following suit. If you have a good sales process, write it down. Once you write it down, use it yourself, prove that it works, and then hand it over to somebody else. And that's how you create a system that would allow your team to go through all of these different steps here and come out with an increased conversion rate. So if you want to set your team up for success, write down the follow-up process. This is how you do it. You just literally grab a Word document, write a title, write a summary, outline the process, and then provide people with the scripts. It's not theory, it's actual scripts, like what to say. If you've proven that you are great at conversion and you have a process that works really well, hand it over to somebody else and let them help. If not, reach out to us. I'd be happy to help you. But this is how you create a follow-up process that is something that can be replicated and give you the maximum amount of success. Isn't it crazy how some of the most simple things in the world will give us the absolute most incredible results? As you just saw, creating a sales process or a follow-up process is really pretty simple. We just don't do it. So I want to challenge you. Hit me up in the comment section if you need help, shoot me a message. I want to challenge you to just take the next 10 minutes and write down the steps that you go through whenever you're following up and converting on a lead. And to prove that it works, you do it and get a conversion first, and then you hand it to somebody else to see if they can do it. That's how you create a system. Systems don't fail. People do. Don't ever forget that. And so as you create this follow-up process, understand you just duplicated yourself. You just cloned yourself. You just gave yourself an ability to double your business because now you can get somebody else helping you convert. And then you can triple that and quadruple that. And you can keep increasing how many leads you're bringing in, how many referrals you're taking, how much business that you're going to do because you created a system that is repeatable. And it's not complicated. It's not hard. You just have to sit down and do it. So take the next 5 to 10 minutes right here, right now. Do it. Hit me in the comment section. Shoot me a message if I can help you in any way, shape, or form. Thanks, guys.